So this has been your adventure leaving the village of Barovia. You obviously came from the east, where you came through the fog, still seeing all this fog and whatnot. You know, you traveled through, got to the village, and now you're making your way to uh, Vallaki. Um, and upon your travels, this is kind of like a quick summary of what you've seen. I know some of you are taking notes. I don't know how often you are sharing notes. Hopefully, often. There's definitely you're gonna get hit with a lot of information this session, just to let you know. So be aware of that. Um, and yeah, so you are leaving. So you're like over here. And she is like just gunning it with these horses. It's still very dark, obviously. You do have the torches of the wagon. As far as I know, none of you were carrying a torch. You all left your torches behind. And so now you're on the wagon. And yeah, just like the sound of thundering hooves and just the night sky is greeting you basically with this fog as you're making it through. She so is anyone doing anything at this time as like y'all are making this escape?
Once we're in, I'm going to try and rest because I want that long rest.
Yeah, I was gonna take a nap.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to ask who the hell this
Oh.
person is.
Smart.
Oh,
Makes sense.
oh yeah,
Adric,
right.
you're gonna
Yeah,
sit up
that's
front with Esmeralda
Yeah.
then I'll say.
I
Okay.
still got the rapier glowing with holy light. I'm not putting it away.
Does it glow? Does
It's-
it give off? Yeah, it does. That's right. You told me.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I want it to, I think. I'll check.
Very cool.
But yeah, it does.
Okay. Is that only for radiant?
Yeah, I think it's just for radiant. I think the lightning the lightning or the flame might, but I don't think
Gotcha.
the Rite of the Storm does.
Gotcha. Cool.
But yeah, I just want to question this lady.
So you're talking to anyone else doing anything? I know y'all are trying to basically get on the wagon and rest. Which I'm gonna go ahead and say that actually roll con. Just give me a con check for people that are wanting to rest as soon as they get on the thing with disadvantage.
check or save.
Check, not save. Check.
Got it.
Proficiency does not matter, right? Though. As far
Right,
as
that
it's
makes
not saving throw.
sense. Constitution.
How do I do that?
You got it. Double roll. All right, cool. So Torvin, you're not trying to rest. You're just there.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay, alert.
Cool. Yeah, gotcha. And Adrian. Okay, cool. So for those rolls, Ovak, you're the only one that can basically calm yourself down after that fight and be in like a restful mindset to where you actually can start taking somewhat of a rest. But the rest of you are just, I mean, your adrenaline's pumping. You just escaped these ghouls and you just got on this wagon. The wagon isn't very comfortable. It's not a very restful situation as you're being like hurled through the night with these horse rides. So.
The benefits of being a sociopath.
Yeah, you just kick back your legs. I mean, you didn't roll that great. Otherwise, yeah, you'd probably do something silly. But yeah, you're restful enough to where you can. Not, I mean, you're not sleeping obviously, but you can start taking your rest. Okay, so Adric, yeah, go ahead. I mean, Esmeralda, I've already said her name a million times, so I'm not going back on that. I mean, obviously, you at least know that. Or technically you don't, but I'm just going to keep calling her that.
All right. Yeah. First, thanks for the timely save, but pardon, who the hell are you? And how did you find us?
Sorry, I'm putting the music back on. I gotta have something in the background, and it shouldn't be that sad.
See, that's why I thought I was going to be able to do some serious resting. It was your music that lulled me into a false sense of no adrenaline.
That's what it does. That's what it does. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So she still with her hands on the reins. She looks over at you and she says, I'm your savior for one. Madam Eva saw that this would happen, and from what I know, it's best to follow through with her fortunes. But I am Esmeralda, and I was told to be here at this time, and like many other things that she's foretold, this has come true. So you're lucky.
Who is this Madame Eva? And how does she know about us? We know nothing of her.
It's really not that strange. So y'all have gotten a decent amount away at this time. She slows a little bit, but not she's still keeping a decent pace. Where, basically, for those of you that are proficient with land vehicles or have somewhat of handling with horses and whatnot, you would know that if you tried to jump off at this point, you could still break an ankle, or something else that would run beside the cart would have a tough time getting on. That's the type of pace. So it's pretty fast, but it's not just you know, full gallop. Um, so she says, Madam Eva she's a great seer. She's very powerful. She she said that you would have many questions, and I am to answer as many as I can before we get to her. You are going to see her very soon. At least I hope.
How long is this journey before I can get back to sleep?
She looks back at you and she says, "Sleep is hard to find in these lands. Um, you can try. Some of the road may be bumpy, uh, but I will keep a decent pace so that hopefully you can get some sort of rest."
Just 2 more hours, that's all I'm asking.
5 more minutes. So if she knows us, do you know who we are then? Did she give you specifics or just tell you to be here?
She said that there would be a group of strangers, and they would be travelers. She really didn't. She didn't go into too much detail. Her readings seem to always come true, I'll tell you that, but there's some information that's always left out. I did not
What
know
can you
how
tell us
many
of these
of you.
lands then?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. What can you? I would have waited for her to finish that.
Oh
I
no,
thought she
you're
was
good.
done.
You're good. Go ahead.
Then what can you tell us of these lands then? It seems that we are in fact travelers and not from around these parts. And we seem to have stumbled into something that we were unprepared for the most part, and we've been piecing information together as we come, but it is still vague. We are still very new here.
Uh, well, I'm sure you've maybe heard of Strahd. Uh, the
Yes,
Devil Strahd, as
we've
some of
met.
them. Oh, you've met. Where? When?
He
How
has
long ago was
made
this?
himself known to us.
Was this
I would
recent?
answer those questions.
So she looks really intrigued when you say this. So you met Strahd 3 days ago, in Barovia Graveyard.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
so telling her this, is that what you're telling her?
Mm-hmm. He
Right.
is not a nice guy. Polite, but kind of a fucker.
She says, and you escaped. What?
I think he let us go, to be honest. It feels like we are being toyed with.
I haven't met him myself. I've heard many things even when I was a small girl. I was born in Barovia. Uh, I'm from the people of the Vistani, even though I don't share many of their bonds or their beliefs. Um, I've traveled outside of Barovia.
The colorful traveler people.
Yes.
We don't know much about the Vistani, right?
The most that
We know a little bit, but not too
yeah,
much.
you know a little bit. You've talked to one in Bildrath's mercantile, and he gave you a little bit of
Oh, I was
information
there for that.
with Ilaria, where he talked a little bit about like the relationship that the Vistani have with Strahd, just very vaguely. You, Ismark said that the Vistani could not be trusted. Much earlier in the campaign. Um, and yeah, you haven't got a ton of information. So yeah, she just continues. She says, I, even living here, growing up here, and unfortunately returning, um, I have never seen Strahd. I don't know if I want to, but I believe one day I will.
You don't. He is something else. What can you tell us about him? I know that you said you have not met him, but surely there is some additional information floating around about him.
Uh, he's he is the land, as my people say.
If we have heard that in the very creepy basement, it does not sound good.
Yeah, I mean, if you believe all the tales, he controls everything in Barovia. Um, he has legions of his spies. The Vistani themselves, unfortunately, she looks like very upset when she says that they do his bidding, um, in not so nice ways. It's you know he's an evil man, if you can call him a man.
And you say all Vistani do his bidding? Does that make you not trustworthy?
Well, at least I saved you, but I am not much like Madame Eva. Being around the Vistani can be safe because of their relationship with Strahd, but
It seems like you've pulled us out of fire and or out of frying pan and into fire. If you are going to take us to servants of Strahd,
I am not doing that. Madame Eva does not serve Strahd. I don't know everything there is to know about the seer. She's very powerful, and I would heed her words, but I know that her goals do not align with his. You will see this. You will see this.
well, that is enough for now then. And I'll cut out the sword and I'll put it away. So this camp, it is close-ish.
So, not exactly, but she does slow down the wagon a little bit more. So all of you can actually, instead of hearing like wood and whatnot stressing upon the weight, like uh, you can start to hear Adric, and I don't know where y'all are sitting, but all of you should be able to hear this basically, as their conversation continues. So she seems very open with like any questions or anything, and she just continues and says, "It it will be daylight before we get there. I cannot run these horses too hard, otherwise I'll lose them."
Am I still awake or did I fall
Yeah,
asleep?
you didn't fall asleep. No, no, no. You can't fall asleep with that roll.
Okay.
But you're able to be resting currently. And these are just like just a few minutes after. So I mean, you haven't traveled too much. But basically,
Okay.
this conversation is going on, and you can hear everything that's going on. So y'all are all within talking distance as y'all are continuing on through these through the lands, and you know you're getting to the point to where there's trees on both sides, and you're just continuing northward. You're also noticing that the terrain is dipping south, like you're going into like a valley. It seems it's very slow, but it is you're going downhill basically.
Okay. I have a question for our Q&A for her.
Okay.
What's this silver short sword good for? Like what does it work on?
Okay, cool. I need to see something real quick because that's a good question. Uh, she looks at it and she actually you see her like pull from behind her and she says, "They're great to have here. They're good for killing werewolves."
Okay, so can you point me towards the nearest werewolf? I just kind of want to try it out, see if it works. Test it out.
Well, there are werewolves as well as vampires, or should I say vampires? Is that how we say it, Chris? Vampires?
Please don't say vampires.
Well,
Vampires.
Victor too. Anyway,
um,
there are werewolves and vampires.
yeah, Ovak, you definitely don't know what a werewolf is. Or you know what a werewolf is, but you've never seen one. None of you have already been over that. But yeah, she continues. She says, "Of course, there's werewolves. Like I've killed many of them.
Are you a werewolf?
We no, even though they've tried many times.
Well, what if I just like prick her with a sword to find out? Would she be okay with that?
You can try. I
I
don't
don't
know if
want
she's
to.
gonna
I
be
just want her
okay
to
with
prove
that.
it.
It's a sword, so I don't know what you're proving. You're kind of doing like a witch can float type thing right there. So I don't know if
You have
that's
like
if she
throwing
bleeds
water on the
from the
witch.
sword, she's a werewolf. Like I
I
don't.
mean,
How does that
she
work?
said it worked really well on werewolves, so I figure if she's a werewolf and I just like, you know, prick her finger or something with it, well, no, it's fine.
Can we
We'll move
just
on.
agree that you have notoriously bad ideas and probably shouldn't?
Yeah, that's true. If I have an
Do I
idea,
see
you
her
should be
kind of
opposed to it.
eyeing the idea, like looking at the sword and looking at her back and like looking at the
Yeah,
sword?
yeah, I would say
Can
that
I kind of see
you
that?
definitely would see that. I would think that would
Like the
be at
gears,
Ovok's top of Ovok's mind.
the
I'm just
gears are
gonna shake
slowly
my head and
turning.
glare.
Yeah. Yeah,
Don't you
Irina
do it?
she just continues and says, mm, most of the Vistani are not werewolves. I can't say all of them aren't, of course, but werewolves are here in Barovia, and count yourself lucky that you have not encountered one yet.
It's okay. I have a silver sword. We'll be good. You just said so.
Well, you have to beware because they do take the form of humans and wolves as well.
You're not helping your case, lady. All right, come here. I want to try something out.
No, you are not stabbing
She
our
takes her
ride.
silver short sword and just slices her palm and is like,
Oh my god.
this is normal sword.
Ovok's eyes go really like anime wide. She blushes. She doesn't know what to do. She's just so confused.
Yeah, she's like, it's a sword. You could do the same. It's still sharp, but I am no werewolf, and I am not going to take you to werewolves.
Okay.
Don't forget, y'all have insight. That is a thing in the game.
Oh yeah,
Don't forget.
yeah.
A lot of people overlook that, so it is a thing.
Oh yeah. Can I insight check all of this? That'd be great.
Of course.
Do I believe her?
Would you roll?
Oh, nice.
Dirty 20. Nice.
Hooray!
Um, through like all of the excitement of rescuing you and like sitting down and still driving the horse or whatever, you have seen nothing that seems like she is out of her comfort zone She doesn't seem to be dodging any eye glances like with you at all. Like this, like she just seems really out and open. Um, I would definitely say with that 20 though, when she was talking about the Vistani, you saw and could tell that there was like a lot of contempt and disgust on her face, even though she admitted that she was born, and is a Vistani.
Hmm.
So, but you're not getting any deceptive, like anything like that. No traces of that.
Well, it seems she has been forthright with us so far, so let's not try to stab our hosts. I think that's just good manners all around.
Well, unless of course you go see Strahd. You can stab him.
Oh, so
What's your eye?
Esmeralda, are you familiar with Irina? Do you know her? Have you met her?
She's like, who is Irina?
The the human woman?
And she like
The one
looks in like the wagon.
Oh God, we left Irina.
No, problem solved.
That would have been hilarious.
Are we good? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're good. We got
Who
everybody.
was Irina's buddy? Who fucked up? She looks in the wagon, um, at the faces, and she spots Irina, as you said, the human, and she looks at her and she says, "She must be the one that Strahd admires. I think
How can
I've
you
heard
tell?
the name Irina, but now seeing her, I could see why. Uh, it's you've been in
That
the
you can.
village of Barovia, no?
Indeed.
Yes.
Well, I would think that if you've been there, then you would probably know that Irina would probably stand out. I've heard tales that of a striking woman in the village, and being from this land, there's not too many lookers in Barovia.
Well, that's good news because Barovia looking good now because we're here.
But
Yeah, you seem to be doing real well with those ghouls.
No, I said looking. Did not.
She
She got you good.
uh yeah, so yeah, still studying. She says I've only heard tales that Strahd has found hmm, his companion in this arena. Uh, being of the Vistani, I get to hear much of what they say, and it seems that he is drawn to her for some reason.
That would explain all of the kidnapping attempts by bats and things like that.
So bats
That was
and ghouls now,
well. There was
and
also
you've seen Strahd. You've had
and
a
ravens
exciting.
and
How
ravens.
long have you been in
About
in
4
Barovia?
days. It's been about what, 4 or 5 days tops?
Yeah, it's been
We've got camp
3
three
days since
times.
Barovia, and then a
yeah,
day
it's been less
with
than 5
the
days.
murder house.
Yeah, it's been
Been less
Oh,
than
that's right. I
less.
was
it's
gonna say
well
we
5
camped three
days
times
because
at
of the
this
murder
murder
house.
house. Yeah.
I think it's been 5 days
Yeah.
because of murder house, basically. But yeah, it's something very similar to that. But yeah,
Our week has sucked.
yeah, I could see that. This is not the place you want to be. Um,
Oh,
Madam Eva will hopefully share good news with you, and if you wish to leave, she should be able to guide you in only the way she can.
oh, that sounds agreeable. Shit, I was gonna ask something else. I don't remember. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, think about what
I-
y'all have seen. I mean, this is the time.
Where are good places for us to actually sleep?
She laughs. Your group is very tired, it seems, and I understand based on what you've told me.
It's been a shitty week.
You can rest where we are heading, and I far away from Castle Ravenloft. Vallaki is fortified. Um, it's much different than the village of Barovia, so you may find it more comfortable.
But does Strahd's reach come this far?
Where we are now?
No, where we're going.
Oh, to Vallaki. Um, I, I haven't seen him, but they talk of him there too. So I, I don't know how far his reaches. This is his land, so I would not put it past him.
Can I look in the sky and along the tree lines and see do I see any ravens?
Yeah, roll perception. Oh, excuse me, jeez.
I think I lost my character sheet.
Oh no.
Sorry. I don't know where it is.
What happened? I didn't see the roll.
I lost my character sheet. There
It's
we
not
go.
a roll 20?
I closed out roll 20
Oh.
by accident a while ago, and I guess I never opened the character sheet back up.
Gotcha. No worries. All right.
Sorry.
You're fine. Okay, so with a 22, like you can't see beyond the torchlight. Then the wagons are shedding. So even with basically with that check, you're more using your ears more than anything.
Yes.
And you do not hear like the fluttering of any wings. It doesn't seem like if something is in the trees, it's not moving or they're not moving. Um, you do see like some of the dim light being shed from the torches on the wagon, kind of reaching some of the tree line itself, and on those edges, you do catch the glimpse of like a raven here or there, but nothing like the swarms that you've seen earlier. You also do not see any of these glowing eyes that you had seen in the past.
Is there a way out of this place?
She says, "Of course. Well, I guess maybe not as easy for you, but the Vistani, we can come and go as we please. I'm not sure for your case. It's a little bit more complicated." So, is anyone else trying to rest now? Or are y'all still going to keep asking? I mean, y'all are good to keep asking questions, of course.
No,
I'll try to
kinda.
rest now.
For those of you that want to rest, just do a con check for me. You don't get disadvantage now. Because y'all are not moving, expeditiously. Okay, cool.
Can I have disadvantage?
Oh, you're good off your first one.
Okay,
I'm not going to make
cool.
you roll again. just because you were already settled. All right, so
Torvin
yeah,
did pretty good.
Torvin, Selkar, like yeah, y'all were good. You feel, you moved away from the threat, and you feel a little bit more comfortable, whether it's because you believe this new ally, or you're just tired, because y'all were about to go towards exhaustion. Laszlo and Alar. Wait, Laszlo, did you roll a? Yeah, you did. Okay, so you got the same thing. Laszlo, you still feel pain from your eye, and you still would have probably a decent amount of questions. You are very tired, but you just can't shake kind of what happened to you before the attack of the ghouls. So it's still, you still cannot calm down enough to start like actually resting. Alaria, the fact that you were born with dark vision and you still cannot see more than 40 feet from the wagon, and you're still seeing birds, and you've been attacked, you've been lifted off of the ground by a giant bat, you're not able to settle down either.
I did think of another question.
What's up, Alaria?
As I say, I'm just going to continue watching the perimeter, like just looking for any type of movement or sounds
Okay.
as we're traveling.
Yeah, I got you. And what was the question?
Stupid Raven.
Well, I'll continue to just keep watch out because I don't think I want to sleep. So, you mentioned werewolves. What other beasts inhabit this land? So what other threats are there? That is kind of my profession, and I'm curious to see what this lands hold.
Okay. Adric, go ahead and roll con for me. Just because I know you're not like sleeping, but you could still be doing like a short rest type, like menial task and just conversating.
Who? Wait. Before we do that, who took watch? Who did this watch happen on? Do you remember?
Yeah, Adric and Ovak.
Oh, okay.
It was at the turnover of watch. We've just come to the end of ours.
Okay.
Man, that music is so quiet. So yeah, she continues, and Adric, what's your passive perception?
Oh, hang on.
13.
Let me find it.
I
Is
think
it?
13. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Selkar's is the highest. He's got like 16 or something like that, or he did.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. My
passive is
15.
13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Passive insight is 15, though, if that helps.
That's good to know. Okay. So she said, wait, you asked what other creatures were in Barovia?
What other threats, specifically? Monsters, people, factions, that kind of stuff.
Got you. She says, I recently have returned. I would not be too much help with the factions and some of the recent troubles. But as far as threats other than Strahd himself, there are, well, there's werewolves, the bats, dire wolves. There are trolls. There are those who call themselves the were-ravens. There are the Vistani. It's easy to turn any corner and find a threat in Barovia.
Who
That
can
is
we
why I
turn
left.
to as allies?
You will find allies in Madame Eva, myself, and hopefully many in Valaki.
Who are these were ravens. I've not heard of these before.
That's one of those. That's some of my information that's been passed through through the Vistani. As much as I dislike my people, they do share relevant and truthful information in some respect, at least to their own kin. Um, but I have never seen one called a were-raven. I just know that they exist in this land, much like the werewolves, but they keep themselves hidden, and I don't think that they're aligned with Strahd.
Are you saying that the werewolves are aligned with Strahd? Are they one of
Yes,
his minions?
many that I have encountered are. I don't know if all of them are, but I have encountered some that are. Wolves are. Most of the wolves have are Strahd's minions, so I guess I would assume that the werewolves would be too. I have fought werewolves not only in this land, um, so I know that there are more than just those that call this place home.
Very well. Trolls exist in the world we came from, right? So I'd know about them.
Yeah, y'all were actually transported here by a troll, like witch, basically. Um, that was a troll that cast the spell upon y'all that got y'all here. Where Torvin was, his new form, and you appeared in this area. So yes, you are
Okay.
fully aware of trolls.
This seems interesting, but the fog surrounding. You say that there's no easy way to leave, but you have left. Is that what you said?
Yes, I have left. I have left, but only once. And I return now to find my mentor. He is said to be somewhere in Barovia, and I hope to aid him.
So where is this place then? If you've left and come back, surely there. And why can't we leave in the same way?
Um, she says, I am one of the Vistani. As a child, I was told to tell where Strahd was a conqueror. He waged war in many, many lands. He fell here and almost succumbed to his wounds, and the Vistani took him in and helped heal him, and ever since he has called this his home and has allowed the Vistani to come and go as they please. As far as I know, at least that last part is true.
In this mentor you mentioned, that a potential ally for us as well?
Yes, and a strong one at that. He is renowned in this region. Um, the region of Barovia actually is fairly small. If you were to escape the fog and the mists, you would find more dark land, not ruled so much by Strahd, but still ruled by his minions that can come and go along with the Vistani, and that is where my mentor and myself have been, well, monster slaying, to put it quite frankly. He has come here to finally rid this land of Strahd, So I must find him to help. His name is Rudolph.
He's not the
Rudolph
red-nosed reindeer, right?
Rudolph van Richten.
Am I hearing any of this, or am I just like knocked out?
All of you should be able to hear this. None of you are asleep. None of you. So even though like you crit succeed, okay, I would say if you rolled a 21, if you wanted to go to sleep, you can go to sleep. So for those of you that rolled that well, if you want to go to sleep, you can say you go to sleep. If you don't, you don't have to. But if you're trying to shoot for a long rest, you would need to go to sleep. So you need
Damn,
to
I
tell me
wanted to
now.
ask a, I want to ask a question, but I want to rest because that hurt.
All right, you can't have both. So
Well, I guess
Yeah.
I'm sleeping. Dang it.
so you're asleep.
Sleep.
Sulfar, are you asleep?
Asleep. I have been trying to sleep this whole time. I mean, though
So
I've been failing at it. I only succeeded recently.
Yep. So the two of you are sleeping then. The rest of you can definitely hear this conversation. And only Ilaria and Laszlo are the only ones that aren't in like a restful state. So yeah.
What age does this woman appear?
She appears like in her prime youth, basically. So like, I would be like I would say mid-20s. She. Oh yeah, I'm looking at an image of her this whole time, and y'all can't see it, so I apologize. Let me bring that up. Yeah, there you go. There's Esmeralda.
And what does Arena say?
What is what?
What Sorry, what's the girl's name with us?
Irina.
Arena.
Irina. Yeah. What is
Irina.
what are her thoughts on this woman and her picking us up and where we're going?
You can ask her because she hasn't said anything.
Okay.
She's been. I mean, she has failed her roles. She is not restful. But she is very exhausted. So she's kind of out of it. But yeah, you can go ahead and talk to Arena as much as you want.
So, okay, Arena, do you know of this woman, and do you know of the location of where she's taking us?
Hey,
Oh shit, it's Jake.
What's
hey,
up?
we got a Novak. Look at that.
Look at that.
You don't look like a
handsome
lady at all.
She-Orc. All right, cool.
Actually, the beard on a she-orc. Yeah, I can see that.
I
It
thought
works.
that was only
Yeah.
dwarves. I guess it works for orcs too. All right, cool. Yeah. So Irina looks up, and you could still see that she is like fear in her eyes. This is like a whirlwind for her. She just like shakes her head. And it's like I just want to get away. I want to see Ismark. I don't know if he's still alive. I've never left the village of Barovia. This is I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that was not very helpful.
Yeah, I guess that's sometimes what happens. Yeah, so Irina continues. I found some useful information that Irina should know. So, Irina continuing on her, Q&A session that she's having with y'all. Going back to where she was told about Strahd and how he was a conqueror, she goes on and says that Strahd he comes from a royal bloodline. He died centuries ago. But endures as the undead. And that is why my mentor is here, is to rid this area of the most powerful vampire that has ever been known.
Do we know Irina's background?
So, as much as yes, I mean, you know some. Okay, so I'm not gonna make you search through your notes right now, but basically, you would know that Irina was found as an orphan by the Burgermeister, which is Mark's father. Um, Ismark's father took her in and raised her as his own. Ismark always knew her as a sister. You found out, it was revealed that later the Burgermeister actually was sending out a letter to the outside world, um, trying to get help for her. It was revealed that the Burgermeister actually was very fond of her as she grew up into like this beautiful woman. Um, and that that letter was found on a dead body. So whoever just didn't make it out, or maybe they did and they were returning, you don't really know that. But all you've known is that she's been, that Strahd has, obviously favored her for some reason, and
Didn't we find that letter on a dead guy immediately coming in here?
yes, yes,
Okay.
yep,
Just making sure.
yeah, Adric, you found it. So yeah, and that
So
she has been visited by Strahd.
is it possible that Irina is actually from like royalty type blood and Strahd knows that or can sense it?
Are you saying that in character?
Yes, I know.
Okay, I mean that's fine. So uh, Esmeralda, like, first of all, Irina like looks up and looks really like confused at that remark. Like basically her thinking of herself as royal, like bloodline, just really, she just seems like dumbfounded. Esmeralda turns around and looks back, and she looks at Irina again, and she says, Strahd has taken many consorts. He has only It's only known that he's only had one true love. It was a Barovian peasant girl named Tatiana. But this, as far as I know, this was many, many years ago.
So that actually lends into a question. Sorry, I just jumped back into frame.
You're good.
For the both of you, actually, Laszlo, didn't you say that you saw a, a painting, a portrait of Irina in Strahd's castle?
Yes.
What's that all about? To Irina.
To Irina,
Well, yeah.
she like hearing that, she looks at Laszlo and says, "You were in his castle? What, you did you see Ismark? When did you? How?"
It's a
Well,
great opportunity to toss her off. Just saying.
I can't be 100% sure it was his castle because it was somewhat of a dream state, but from what we've learned of this guy, it sounds like as if something he would pull off.
Did you see Ismark?
I did not.
Um, she just looks really sad at that. She doesn't really talk about the. She doesn't really flinch at the. It's not that she doesn't flinch, is that she's like, I'd say basically with like Adric's passive insight. I don't know what everybody's passive insight is, but she just seems to be consumed about Ismark. I mean, ever since his abduction, like that's all she's cared about. Even though she knows, like she's even said that she doesn't believe like she'll see him alive again. Um, so yeah, that's what she says.
I'm guessing that my passive insight is 15, but because I'm asleep, it's not that
You're
good.
asleep, bro. You're done.
Yeah. I mean, my passive
there's no
insight is
spot.
really good. I'm just not sure if I, if I
The
really
inside
can
of your
insight.
eyelids are so suspicious.
Whoa.
Insight
I don't.
check.
Right. An insight check the hell out of my eyelids. My eyelids.
Yep.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, do you know much about Strahd's castle? This would actually be a good opportunity for us to see if that was a dream and we're just assholes, or that was a legitimate vision sent by Strahd to fuck with you.
You're talking to Laszlo, right? Yeah. Right?
Yeah, well, I'm talking to Laszlo and I'm talking to Esmeralda.
Okay.
If she knows
Sure,
anything about the inside of the castle.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
it was something because Lazo's eyes got. Lazo eye got.
That sometimes that happens when you don't wash your hands properly. Don't touch your face.
Scrubby cat hands. Okay, so Esmeralda.
That's even worse.
Esmeralda. She says, all right, what dream? We have a long journey here. What dream? What is this? What is this out of body experience? She's looking at you, Laszlo.
So when we were all sleeping in the graveyard,
Oh, that's smart, by the way. Good choice.
wasn't my choice. I wanted to climb up a tree or find a box personally, but
It would have been better.
It had walls.
Very small walls.
Not about this. Talk about the dream.
exactly. So I saw myself sleeping in the graveyard, almost like as if it was an out of body experience, and then flew across the countryside to his castle, went up this spiral staircase, seeing this red light, noticed the painting on the wall, and then saw him himself standing there, and he basically said, because I like to take his image, I would feel his pain.
And then, is that all? That's all that happened.
I lost my eye.
You lost your eye in a dream.
I guess in real life. You know, sometimes how like something happens to you in a dream, it affects you in real life. I'm thinking that's what happened.
Did he lose his vision in that eye, or did it?
No, he didn't lose his.
Yeah, I thought it just turned
Yeah.
black.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
turned black.
I think now would be a good time to, live it out.
You're asleep. Go to sleep, Torvin.
Oh yeah, I'd want to kick Selkar awake and be like, "Oh wait, they gotta go look at his eye." By the way, just getting to sleep.
we had issues with the attack, and I am going back to sleep. Well, actually, I've had 4 hours. I could stay awake because I didn't take the first 2, right?
There's only been one.
I thought there were.
No. There was
2
two. That's right.
watches.
Ilaria took the first one. Ilaria.
I was supposed to take the last watch.
Yep. You're right. Yeah,
But
y'all
for
should
some
have
reason,
at least a short rest.
yeah, all I need is 2 hours of wakefulness and being not doing, and I still have, and I can do it. But and Mr. Adric would know this, since you were supposed to wake me up. You should go back to sleep.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, you got to take a look at his eye once he's done with the story. Anyway, does any of that sound familiar to you, Esmeralda? Have you ever been in the castle? I don't know why you would, but just in case. You know about the castle?
She says, yes, anyone who lives in Barovia knows about Castle Ravenloft. Named after Strahd's mother, Queen Ravenovia is her name.
Ravenloft?
The
say.
castle's named Ravenloft. Her Strahd's mom's name was Queen Ravenovia. But anyways,
Ravnovia? Maybe?
what?
Ravnovia?
Ravenovia?
I don't know, it just sounds better than
It does sound a lot.
Ravnovia.
Ravenovia? Yeah, that doesn't Ravenovia sounds. But then it's not Ravenloft.
Ravenovia, the American
It's
pronunciation.
not Ravenloft though. It's Ravenloft, so that's why it's a
Could
little.
be pronounced Raven.
But anyways,
Buongiorno.
yeah, buongiorno.
It's the American
Anyways,
pronunciation.
so she continues and says that that is Strahd's, that's his home. It is easily to spot, in most of Barovia. Y'all have seen the castle when you were in the village of Barovia. I mean, you saw it when you walked, even with all the fog, like you could see it kind of just eclipsing the landscape. Basically, when you made it out of the woods and into the valley. So you definitely have seen it, and that's what she's basically she's describing. She also says that strangers are not welcome at the castle and without an invitation. Other than that, I would not go. I would not go there unless I had, I don't know, an army at my back.
Well, we kind of saw one of those, but it was dead. We got a little bit of history about the uprising.
Yes, the mages' rebellion. Poor souls. All of them.
So, for now, Laszlo, it looks like we can neither confirm nor deny that that dream was anything more than a dream, other than, yeah, your eye is fucked up.
For all I know, one of you guys did
Sorry.
something while I was asleep.
I look over at Ovok and I give a really over-comedic wink. Because we were on watch together, right?
Yeah.
I interpret that differently. I roll up my sleeves and attempt to arm wrestle him.
I'm very confused by this.
Ooh,
Never
Adric?
mind.
Yep, that's my strength roll.
You critically fail. Yeah.
With a -1.
Yeah, you basically go to arm wrestle Adric and just do this really odd, awkward tap on his wrist and lose your balance a little bit because you're basically standing in a moving wagon and he's up front, which has this bit of a barrier, and you about fall on your ass as you get back to your seat, and it's just everyone's just kind of
I would like to use my action surge.
Jesus Christ. Do you have one of those left?
Yeah, I do. We just came out of a long rest.
No,
no
we
one has
haven't.
long rested. No,
We have not
no
long
one,
rested.
No one has long rested. Just to let y'all know. I will say, for the sake of this, I know some of y'all are trying to
I would
long
like
rest.
to use human sacrifice. Which one of you wants to die? Valeria, come here. I need your blood.
Good use
not
of
a
this
human.
skill.
I invented it.
I love it. It's perfect. I love it. I'm asleep, so I don't see it, but I'm on board.
This turns into this weird petting motion that makes me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's very awkward. Esmeralda's just
I'm just gonna keep watching.
And I'll just say, that's the first time this has happened. I'm not sure what this was. This is a new one. In all of our strange time together, this has not happened. I'd prefer it not happen again. At all.
I want
ever.
it to happen
Please no.
again.
It'll happen again. Trust me.
nice.
Why does that sound so threatening? It's like some weird combination between sexual and violent. Little column A. Little
Exactly.
column
I'm a half orc. It's the only thing I know. You can't separate the two
So you only know sex and violence, huh?
at the same time. That's the only thing I know.
I do not want to know how your
concerned.
fights go.
I am concerned. You are asleep. Shut up. Oh, that's what that sound is. It's a goat. I was hearing that. I was like, I don't know what that is. It's the goat. It is a baby goat.
Hello, little goat.
Hey, wait, keep it there for a second.
Look at the goat.
Goats are the cutest. I mean, second to cats.
Second only to cats.
It's a very cute goat. Sorry, this derailed everything for the moment.
It's okay. You're good.
I raise cats and I hate cats.
Did you hear me?
No.
What'd you yell?
I do. I heard it.
It's a very cute goat.
Thing. Oh, awesome.
Is this the same one that was born during one of our sessions?
No. No, she was just born 2 days ago.
Oh, wow.
Wow, very baby goat.
Yes, she's a set of 4. And they were preemies, so they're in the house.
Surprisingly loud. That's crazy. Sorry, Matt. Sorry.
You're
Didn't
fine,
mean to
you're
disrupt
fine.
us.
You're
We
fine.
were
I'm reading.
doing some weird sexy violence.
Yep. We're doing weird, awkward arm wrestling.
This
things that
has
aren't
the
arm wrestling.
this has the Adam Driver, John Oliver vibe to it. If you're all familiar with that.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, so after that,
No, just me? Just me and Matt? All right.
Just you. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, I don't know what y'all want to do after that. Like, I don't. Esmeralda just looks like she's just like, okay. Turns back to the reins and keeps going north.
I would like you all to get out of my cart now.
All right. Any more things for Esmeralda? My goodness, goat. Yeah. So, any more questions for Esmeralda or anything on that subject?
New.
Nope. Okay. Well, then she's gonna just continue moving the cart. Let me get another con check for everybody.
How many of these? Good lord, just kill us already.
Why would you be dying?
This is the third con check we've done. I have to imagine that we're
it's
gonna
just
die
to
soon.
see how well you sleep while we're writing.
Yeah.
Mine
All right.
didn't go
So
like-
Torvin,
Right.
you. Okay. So Adric, which is fine. Adric's not really resting. Adric, Laszlo finally goes into like Laszlo and Laria finally like go into that restful state. Selkar, you stay asleep. Ovak, you maintain yours, and Torvin, you wake up from yours. You wake up from your sleep.
I want to say, as Torvin wakes up, he happens to grabs it down, face planting. So I want to say, as Torvin wakes up, he blocks hand where he's getting ready to do the arm wrestling, thinking that she's trying to pull him up. So he's gonna reach up, grab her hand, and pull her straight down.
Oh well, that was a while ago.
Oh, thanks for helping me up, and now I'm pulling you down.
So you're just playing
We're all
handsies
uncomfortable.
with Ovak, I guess. I don't know. Sure. But yeah, y'all are continuing on. So finally, like the sky, even though still the same overcast, the darkness where your sight, your dark vision has been, doesn't seem to be working still. But you do see the area and whatnot brighten for those of you that aren't asleep. which the only person asleep right now is Selkar. Basically, dawn, or what you know to be dawn, is kind of breaking currently. And at this time, you can see further along on the trail that there is a camp of some sort. It is actually... Yeah, so the road gradually disappears and it is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. So basically, Torvin, makes sense. You'd probably wake up at this time because you probably hit a nice big bump. The rest of you, for some reason, Laszlo, you like bumpy car rides and you fall asleep, or you go into a restful state. You're not asleep. Anyways, deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of wagons. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far above. There is a clearing here next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around a bonfire. So even though this is morning, even though this would be dawn breaking, it's still, it's still dark enough to where there's still fire out to still give off some of this light. You do see a lot of the new light being reflected off of this lake pool and basically shedding much of what you can see as far as this camp. A footpath continues beyond the encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest edge. So, you see this. This is all coming into view. I'm going to go ahead and put y'all here. We are going to take a short break. But this is basically what you're seeing, and everything is already outlined, so that's good. So if y'all didn't already know, that's Madame Eva's tent right there.
Wow.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, y'all are coming
Yeah, it's
from
cool.
the southern road, and y'all are seeing this. So minus. Yep, cool. Let me minus on my DM screen. But yeah, so y'all are basically rolling into this at this time with still Irina driving. So, as far as rest stands, Selkar, you will have a long rest. You are the only one to have a long rest. The rest of
Aw.
you will have short rests, so you can use your hit die now. And then, of course, we'll get into it after the break. Alright, so as you can see, there's some people at this camp. Those of which give you some images here. So,
And some way dancers.
yeah, they could look like that, I suppose. So you have a few of them are dressed much like the larger Vistani that you met in Bildras Mercantile. Also, there are many of them that look similar to the one that was with him as well in the Mercantile place, who accompanied him, who didn't say anything, but there are several figures that, basically are all dressed in like this more flamboyant, like red garb, much different than what you saw of like the Barovians themselves wearing, even though you didn't see many of them. But let me get the other picture in here, so you just get at least a better look here. And that can be moved. And then this one. So yeah. Cool. Yeah. So, before you get too super close, you hear these people. You hear murmurs and whatnot, kind of like shouts and laughs and other things as you're closing into this camp at like dawn. And Esmeralda just looks back at you and says, "This place is safe, unless, of course, you make it not so." And she just continues and rides in.
I was gonna say, Torvin asked her, they're not gonna have a problem with me, are they?
She looks at you and says, "Vistani are travelers. Your kind is not a mystery to them."
I mean, I'm an orc, but I guess I don't really think or care about that.
We have seen many things.
I'm asleep.
Yeah. So basically, you come up to the. Basically, she parks like near one of these wagons with her own, and yeah. So as she's like unbridling the horses and whatnot, I'm not gonna put your icons on here. You can just kind of do theater of mind. We don't need to keep dragging and doing whatnot. You can just tell me what you're doing. But yeah, the cart is stopped. Silkar, I guess you're still asleep in there. And she's just like undoing the horses right now, and you all can see like this roaring bonfire, even with the the shadows of dawn still approaching. The roaring bonfire gives off much light. Dawn's already approaching, so obviously, I mean, you're under the assumption that these people have like kind of had an all-nighter, because you are hearing like them slur their words, just chuckling. You see flasks of wine being passed to and fro from each of them as they're just like having a great time, basically. So yeah, what do you want to do? Esmeralda's just unbridling the horses and getting them free from the wagon.
Well, wouldn't we want to go meet this Madame Eva who sent her, I guess?
Possibly,
Yeah, I'd say
yeah. So,
probably be the best option. Yeah, well, gather us up and all right. Well, we're here. I presume we should see and speak with this Madame Eva as soon as possible. Yes.
Esmeralda hears you and says, "Yes, your tent is the largest one. If you look on your map, it's right there. Its icon like says it." But she's like, "Yeah, it's the largest one. Just listen well, and you know, she's an ally, and be on your best behavior, I guess." We didn't talk
So
too
leave
much about
Silkar
it, but
here.
the Vistani are not people you want to have as enemies, so tread lightly. But like I said, you should not. No harm should befall of you unless you ask for it.
Should we all go in, or some of us?
She's
All
awaiting
of
all
us?
of you.
All right. Then that is where we go. And I will head that way.
Does somebody wake me up, or do I just like?
Nope, you left
She
in the
said
car.
polite. So we're going to leave you here so you don't say anything dumb. Now, of course, we wake you up and take you with us.
Oh, okay.
Is anyone not going to Madame like Eva's tent?
I'm going.
I'm assuming it's big enough for me to get under, right?
Yeah. It's not going to be
Can we
easy,
see
but
now?
I mean, yeah, like I said, there's a roaring bonfire. Dawn is breaking, so like, the shadows of night are disappearing. Um, and so your dark vision is still failing you. But you can see clearly in this camp and the
So
surrounding area.
before we go into the tent, can I just like look around everything and see if like the ravens are anywhere to be seen?
Yeah, you can roll perception. Okay, so I see also real quickly. I see Ovok rolled hit dice. Is anyone else rolling hit dice for your short rests?
Ay caramba.
Is
Oh, I need
Ovok
to
the
do
only
that.
one that got HP back on his short rest
I guess
or
I
her
need
short
to.
rest? There we go.
Oh, nice rolls,
Wow,
Ilaria.
Alaria.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, holy crap.
So what do I roll for hit dice?
You click the hit dice button.
Where
Oh,
is
where's that?
It should be next to your current HP and whatnot. It should be right below it on the character sheet.
Oh, the character sheet. Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
Hit dice button.
Yep.
so annoying? That I
And you
keep doing
can do like one and then decide to take another one and then whatnot. You don't have to be like, I'm gonna take all of them and stick to that. So
Get
currently,
three, right?
yes, yeah, you get
Okay.
3.
I'm gonna hold on two then.
Okay.
that. 24.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. I don't know what y'all are at because I don't know how many y'all how many of y'all gotten back and whatnot. But I know y'all had a long rest with the bats, even though they attacked. Or I think you did. Did y'all long rest? Y'all long rested after that, right? Or did y'all
After
keep
which one?
the bat attack?
I think we did.
You had to have, because otherwise you would have gotten exhaustion.
All died.
You would have gotten exhaustion, I think. Anyways, whatever. Just make sure you keep up with your hit dice. Currently, right now, when you take a long rest, you get 1 back. You do not get more than that. You just get 1. That'll change when you get level 4. Yeah, so right now it looks like Adric, I don't know what the 4 was for, but
I didn't know
Laria,
you could roll hit dice through this, so
yeah, so just keep track of where y'all are at. Laszlo, I have no idea. He healed for 3. I don't know how y'all are looking. Um,
I'm
based off
almost
the
topped off, so I'm looking chipper.
battle, and some healing that might have been done. I'm not sure. So if y'all want to go around and be like, hey, my character is bloodied still or whatnot, you can at this time because I don't know. Everybody's fresh and clean.
For
So fresh and so
sure.
clean, clean.
Okay. How does Laszlo look? Because he only got 3.
I'm at 14 now, but I think
Out
that was my
of
last out of 25.
So you're bloody. Yeah, Laszlo doesn't look good, basically. Yeah, if you're like at half health, you're bloody. You're definitely looking rough. So,
14's not half of 25. It's over.
well, it doesn't matter. You're bloodied because I said so. So Laszlo doesn't look good for those of you with him or whatever. Anyway, so are you stopping with 1 hit dice, or are you gonna go more? Because you have 2 more.
Well, it only showed me that I had 1 out of the 3,
I don't know
which
if that
I don't
was.
remember ever
If that's
using the hit dice before, but
if
I
that's
don't know why it was at 1.
If y'all took a long, you should have at least 2. So use 1 more if you want. Otherwise, you'll stay at your 14. That's a good roll. Okay, cool. So I hate this music. This music never actually continues playing, and I hate it. So I don't know how many times I have to say loop for it to loop. Okay. Anyways. Yeah. So everyone's going to Madame Eva, right? No one's not going. Correct. Yes. Okay. Cool. So all of you, Ilaria, what was your perception roll? That's right. You got a 5. So basically, you're looking around. you don't really, nothing catches your eye as far as in the treetops or whatnot. A lot of your attention seems to be on like the group of like 12 people gathered around this bonfire, sharing this loud conversation of like a bunch of, well, actually a lot of different conversations all going on at one time, just kind of laughing and whatnot. But yeah, you don't see any type of threat from the trees or any winged anything, basically. Okay, so if you're all going to Madame Eve's tent, Irina just kind of like points you in the direction, but doesn't follow you. She tells you, of course, to listen and heed her words well, and to be on good behavior, and don't provoke where it doesn't need to be provoked. And so, gesturing towards the tent, you see a large tent, obviously there by the shore, much larger than the other like dome-looking tents. You all can fit inside of this tent, even though scaling would say otherwise. You all can fit inside this tent. So, making your way to the tent, you do draw some eyes and some attention from people at the fire. Let me... Gotta roll so much. Alright, so... four of them actually like say a few words to like maybe one or two of you. A lot of their words are slurred. A couple of them just kind of like turn their heads and look at you and just kind of like smile and then go just turn back away, and the rest of them really just don't even notice that you're there. They're just in their own conversation in their cups. Nothing aggressive or anything like that. They're all just kind of having a good time. And yeah, so y'all are still making your way to the tent, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so you enter the tent. Cool. Let's see if I have. I think I do. What is this? What track is this? Okay. I'm sorry, I'm cranking my music up because I have music for this. Okay, cool. So, upon entering this large tent, we're going to say it's almost like, well, no, it's not. I'm not going to say that. Never mind. It's a large tent. All of you can fit. Torvin, you definitely have to duck and go in there. I was going to say it's like freaking Harry Potter. You go in there and it's like way bigger than what it looks like, but it's not. That's not the case. Anyways, you go in there. Magic flames cast a reddish glow over the interior of this tent, revealing a low table covered in black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into the depths. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. So yeah, let me go ahead and change this for you. There. Okay, so you see, basically, this old crone wearing stylish garb. And I guess there's things howling. This is the wrong track. Because it changed tracks. Okay. It should stay there now. Hopefully. I don't know why Groovy's having such a hard time tonight. Like, it's really annoying. Anyways, I gotta turn it up even more with this crap. Sorry, I like my music in the background. Okay, so you enter in, you all like file into this tent that somehow houses all freaking 7 of you. And as you do so, you find that it's not super comfortable in there. I mean, there's not a lot of room, but you're able to stand and you can see like this older crone, like I said, standing over this table with the crystal ball. As you all enter in there, she looks up and waits until all of you enter. And then when the last, which I last one to enter. We'll say Irina. Irina enters in at the end. You hear her say, "At last, you have arrived." And she starts to like just have this really odd cackling like laugh after that, which I'm not going to try to
God,
do.
are we fixing to all die?
And
You look over and there's a doll.
there's just these dolls everywhere. It's great. It's like Tales from the Hood, the puppet one. If you haven't seen it, it's creepy as hell. Anyways, yeah. So, she just has this cackling thing, and she basically gestures you over. And she's like, "Yeah, come in, please, please. I know you have traveled far." And she looks like over each of you again. And as she does, for those of you that lock eyes with her, you get the sense of just this like wise mysticism, like as her eyes like just lock onto each and every one of you. And she gestures towards Adric and Silkar, and she says, "The brothers, who are bound by more than blood, but by death and grief. I hope this place will bring you some solace, but it will not be easy."
Oh,
And she continues looking over each of you and locks eyes with Alaria and says, "The small-scaled one who beckons the elements at her fingertips. You have fought against evil before in the shape of a spider. This will be much worse, but you may prevail. You still have your allies with you, even though their form has changed." And she looks over at Torvin and says, "Cursed in form and in faith, this will be a trying time for you, largely."
I look at her and I say, "How do you know?"
She does like one of those cackling laughs again. She's like, "I am blessed and cursed. I know much, and yet little. But I will do what I can to aid you. I know that you wish to escape this land as many do."
I'm gonna say that Torvin looks actually angry at her first comment. Not at her, but
Which
just
comment? I
you
mean, it's
said
fine. He
curse.
can look angry. She doesn't know which comment.
Yeah.
I guess I don't.
No,
Okay.
I was just saying that
Or the
as
laugh?
the group. No, as the group, they should see Torvin, get angry at her comment, cursed in faith.
Oh, cursed in form and faith.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. She continues. She looks at Ovok, and she says, "You carry a heavy burden. You have let down those of you that are close to you. They are hard to find, but you will prevail." And then finally she looks at Laszlo, and she says, "You are marked. It is not a thing that anyone would wish upon themselves, but it may be your strongest weapon in the days to come. And after saying this, she settles down behind her little desk. And I really hate that my music is dumb, because it doesn't want to work at all. I don't know if y'all can't hear any music, but this dude, like this guy, is just not playing music.
I kind of muted it.
It's automatically going to next when I literally have it looping.
I put the thing up to 200% and still couldn't hear it.
Because I don't think it was playing.
It says it loops current track, and then I go, so now it's playing. Yep, that's loud.
You might have a bad track.
They might have done something to Groovy, because it kind of is a way to get through ads. They might have changed something. Anyways, which really sucks. I might go to a longer track. Yeah, we'll do that. This is an hour long, so.
So I don't. Obach doesn't really care what the crazy old lady has to say, but I am still kind of on the we should talk to Irina bandwagon about, you know, her past, if you will.
So, the woman settles down into, like I said, behind her desk and starts shuffling cards. And she looks up and she says, "I have not forgotten about you." And Irina, like, kind of steps forward a little bit. She says, You're favored, and he will search for you until the end of his days."
Wait, who did she say that to?
Irina. But then she begins to start.
Can we ask her what she meant by unfavored?
She says she is favored.
Oh,
If however you, I will smash them.
And what gives her the favor? Like, what about her does that?
And you're asking her that?
Yes.
She says, all will be revealed when it is needed.
That doesn't sound like an answer to me.
It is the one that you are going to get.
Well, is it though? Like, what's the plan, guys? Like, we're getting really cryptic messages from this woman.
Well, that's kind of traditionally what fortune tellers give.
I was just about to say that.
So she
Fortune
starts
teller or
moving.
no?
Sorry, she starts moving her cards around. And she says, "I have asked Esmeralda to bring you all here because I have seen you all triumph over more than just this land, but Strahd himself. I know you wish to leave, and I can assist. If you wish, I will give you a reading to hopefully aid you in your
Okay.
land and journey here."
So, what's my father's name?
She doesn't say anything. She starts shuffling cards.
I'll take a
Um,
read.
Give me the cards. I want the
It
cards.
is be polite. We were rescued, however vaguely, by these folks. We are guests. Let us see what she's got and be on our way.
Can we just
With
tell her
hopefully
that's the cards that we don't have any cash?
polite. We are polite.
That's polite. We're just saying, hey, we don't have any cash on us, by the way. You
I'll
better
take
tell her
reading.
now than after we get our
And
reading.
I'll sit down at the chair opposite and say, "I'll take a reading."
There's not a chair.
And
Yeah, there's
I
not.
will
It's
sit
just open
down and
space.
realize there's no chair and fall on my ass.
Yeah, there's no open space. It actually seems like there is like just enough room in this tent to house all of you. Um, so
Okay, I'll take leading.
there's room enough for all of you to stand, and there's
Um,
nothing
I,
in your way, basically.
I
There
will
is
also
more.
take the reading.
There is more to this world than I understand or could ever hope to understand.
And we have seen some pretty strange things in our time. What's one more? Please, let us see what your cards say.
She says, "That's very wise. I hope this will help you and heal this land as well." So she begins to deal out the cards. Very methodically, pausing and not flipping any of them over. She, spreads them out, gathers the cards back together, and then fans them out and grabs one of them, slides it on the table, and let me double check. I have to make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, yeah. Slides it on the table, and says, "The three of coins. This, you are to look to the Wizard of Wines. In wood and sand, the treasure hides." She does very similar motion where she puts the cards back together, fans them out again, lays another card close to this one.
What was the first one?
The first one, I will put this all out on the thing, but the
Okay.
first one was look to the Wizard of Wines. In the wood and sand, the treasure hides. Yeah, I will go ahead. I have this written down. I'll go ahead and put this out.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
Actually, I'll do it as we do it, or as we have it here. So there's that. All right. The second one she puts down. She says the Avenger. The treasure lies in a dragon's house, in hands once clean, now corrupted. She brings the cards again once more, fans them out, pulls another one.
Is this for both of us, or just me, or or is this for all of us,
This
or
is
what's
for the
the?
entire group that she's doing this reading
Okay.
for.
Okay.
She's like beckoned y'all to come closer as she, spoke to
Matt,
each of you.
you
And
didn't write up a reading for each and every single one of us
I'm not supposed
individually.
to.
No, I know, I'm just being a jerk.
I could, but then it would just make no sense. All right. The next one, she actually looks at Laszlo for just a half second. Selkar, you catch it. And then she looks at Irina, and then she flips over the card. She says, "The Necromancer. A woman hangs above a roaring fire. Find her, and you will find the treasure." Then she, similar motion, restacking the deck and fanning them back out. She puts one down. Says the broken one. Your greatest ally will be a wizard. His mind is broken, but his spells are strong. And then once more, she reshuffles the deck, and this time fans it out across the table, like below all the other cards, and slides one card above all of the other ones, and then picks it up and flips it over right in the center. She says, the artifact. He lurks in the darkness where the morning light once shone. A sacred place. And then with that, she takes her cards, leaving those on the table. She takes her cards and puts the deck back and puts it away. And she says, I wish you well and hope that you find many allies. You will need them. Whether they
Who
be...
who was it that had the dream in the castle?
1 second. She continues and says she hopes that you meet many allies, and she says whether they be individuals or items. The person that had the dream in the castle was Laszlo. That went into like that dream state.
So Laszlo, when you were seeing the picture of Irina, was it above a fireplace?
I can't remember 100%, but I think so.
It was.
So we have the treasure.
Maybe.
Madame Eva, you see her just begin to turn, and she just goes through like this thick curtain, and just goes out of sight.
Sounds like to me she's in cahoots with Strahd.
Well,
Why
maybe have
did
the
you be that
conversation outside.
patient?
Because it's fortune telling. It's crap. It's evil, and I don't
Fortune
respect
telling,
it. And
fortune
she knows
telling
things
is
she shouldn't.
I have had many of my fortune taken, and some were accurate.
Yeah, you're a Russian guy. You like vodka. It's not hard to determine.
Not
Like,
Russian.
I don't need to be a fortune teller.
Not Russian.
Well, you are
Yeah.
now. Ukrainian was taken over.
Well, then,
Okay, you live a long time. I don't know, man. I just don't respect it. I don't like this place. It creeps me out.
Do we know who the he is in the last thing that she gave us?
Nope. She just told you what was quoted there in roll 20.
So, Irina's in here with us, right?
Yes. Yeah, she's in there.
Well, you've lived here. As Esmeralda, she's not.
No,
Right.
Esmeralda did not enter the...
Well,
So can I?
you lived here. Does this make any sense to you? Any of these things? Wizard of Wine, broken wizard mind, dragons?
Irina, like, just tries to, like, you can tell that she's, like, really trying hard to think as much as she can absorb. And she, like, suddenly, like, looks up, like, as if, like, a light bulb went off, and she says, the Wizards of Wine, they are very famous. The inn in the village of Barovia, they serve their wine. The winery is to the west here. Even I know
Oh.
that.
Hey, a place
Can I
to
do-
start.
Can I do like a perception check or something on this lady? I just don't trust her.
On Irina, you can do insight.
No, not on Irina. I meant
Oh,
on.
Madame Eva. Yeah, you can do insight. We'll just retcon it, I guess, as
she's gone.
intimidation. That's not insight.
No. I meant to do investigate. It's the same role though.
Do for insight?
Insight and intimidate. Wait, no. Yeah, they're
It's not
both ones.
charisma. Insight should be...
I mean, I'm not going to complain. I'll reroll.
Yeah, it's wisdom. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, the yeah. I mean with an 8, there's, you know, Ovok, I guess she has her own you know, her own senses and superstitions and whatnot. But as far as Madame Eva, yeah, she was definitely strange to you. But you didn't get any like deceptive feel. It was just odd. Like it's just the event to you was just kind of odd. But you didn't feel like she's trying to like get you killed or any type of like deceptive vibes.
Okay.
And the fact that she glanced over at it was
Good, good.
Laszlo and Ilaria with
Yeah,
that
you
a woman
saw her.
hangs
You
above.
saw her glance over at Laszlo and then Irina when
Oh,
she
Irina.
read off the Necromancer card, which is where she said that a woman hangs above a roaring fire. Find her, and you will find the treasure.
Okay. So then she looked at you, Laszlo, with the woman hangs above a roaring fire. I'm assuming it's because you saw the picture above the fire of Irina. Um, unless you have another interpretation.
It's my best guess as of right now.
Well, we have two potential places to start then. We can talk to Esmeralda. She's been very forthright so far. See if she knows anything else about these other ones. But we got the winery to go to, which I'm a big fan of. I hope they have cheese as well. And we have Castle Ravenloft, potentially.
I want to drink with the bros outside and see if I can't get any information out of them.
I too would also like to not follow the dream quite yet and go to the place where there's booze.
Booze is better than death.
9 out of 10 times, yes. Unless it's bad booze. And then it's
Unless
still
it's
better.
booze that leads to death, and then no.
But yes, let's ask our lovely hostess Esmeralda, and maybe these fine drunken folks will be kind enough to part with some provisions before we make our way out of here, or a good night's rest, day's rest, whatever.
Party with the guys outside. That's my plan.
There we go.
All right, so I will. Where's my card? Damn it! Damn it! Why isn't it respawning? It's okay. Whatever. I guess I am here because I can't get my card on the board. So I'm over here. Wait, no. Those are the. I mean, are they all? Yeah. Okay, I'm over here. Whatever. Let's just say they're here. And to the guy to my west, I say, hey, you want to do a bit of gambling? Very stoic.
Oh, am I muted? Yeah, I was muted.
Yes.
Sorry. Give me a persuasion roll, Ovok.
Okay.
And Ovok's making her way over there, so y'all can move your y'all can move your tokens around. Oh man, that's great. Okay.
How do you roll a 0?
He has a -1 in charisma.
Oh,
She has
got
a
it.
-1 in charisma.
Ha!
Yes, so crit
brilliant.
fail.
You have inspiration, you could re-roll that.
Yeah, do you
I
have...
already used it. I used
Okay.
it last session.
Cool. Alright, yeah, so you make your way over there. And yeah, you ask
Or maybe I did not.
a
I still have it checked. I think I still have it. Oh my god, I want to use it
You
again.
want to use it? Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. Let me do that.
Come on, big number. No whammy.
Persuasion. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, digital dice. Gotta love it.
No
Okay.
Not 20, but now 19.
Yeah. So you walk over there, and you just ask like, what do you say? You just ask like gambling or?
Yeah,
It's just say gambling. Gambling.
That's what he said, or that's what she said.
It was
right?
a pretty innocent question. I'm not sure what they're rolling for. I just wanted to know if the guy liked to gamble.
Okay. So you walk over there and you say that, and you notice that like he like a lot of them obviously notice this female, half orc walk into the camp, and they're all looking at you and they're just kind of still in their cups and they go like a little bit quiet. And you ask as far as like if he likes to gamble, and he says, he looks at you and like chuckles, lets out that big laugh that you heard back in Bill Drath's Mercantile, and says, of course, what do you have in mind?
Okay, so here's the plan. All right, we're gonna wrestle, and then the loser has to buy the other person drink. Dude, we've been playing this campaign for like 4 months, and I haven't gotten to wrestle a single person, and I really want to, really bad.
Oh, okay. All right. So you want to wrestle him? And what's the terms of this? He's like,
Just the winner gets a free beer.
a free beer.
Wrestling is the term.
He says, he looks at you like up and down. He says, I don't think I've ever wrestled a she-orc before. Should we go into a tent or?
It depends on how you do here. Like, if you play your cards right, we might wrestle a few times tonight.
He like actually blushes like a little bit, gets a little bit more redder than he already is because he's highly intoxicated. You can actually smell, pretty obvious like the fumes coming off of him. He like puts down his flask. He says, "We drink wine here. If that's okay, then we can wrestle away."
How strong is the wine?
Strong enough.
All right, fine. A cask for the winner. How about that?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it. Strength checks.
Wow.
Yes!
It's actually dexterity.
That's actually
Oh, wait, is
dexterity.
it?
No, it's not.
No, I'm just saying. What are you bad in? Intelligence. It's actually an intelligence roll. Wrestling's all in the mind.
I would just want to see what his pluses are to see if like he gets anything. Okay, he does get some stuff. Oh, okay, cool, nice. But you got a 20 though, so I don't think he's gonna. No, yeah, he got a 14. So yeah, he puts down his stuff. They make a little bit of space, not too much for you, and you quickly overpower him, wrestling wise. Not to the point to where like he is in like immediate pain or anything. He's just kind of like chuckling, He's in this state to where, even though like you're beating him, well, in pretty much
Is he enjoying it?
any turn, he seems to be enjoying it. Yeah,
Okay, good.
He seems to be enjoying it. He's just chuckling and trying his best, but you were absolutely beating him. So yeah, what do you pin him? What do you want to do?
What's your name, big boy? I'm starting to like this guy a lot.
Okay, Matt.
I
ready
feel dirty.
Ready to PvP or some role play, some sex? Let's do it.
I won't take it that far.
Oh,
We might have to hand wave a couple things tonight, but
man,
we'll see.
I forgot what that guy's
Is that what the kids are calling it?
It's a hand.
The hand wave.
Hmm.
I called it something completely different when I was growing up, but okay.
Hey, kids these days, man. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, so while you're on top of him, Esmeralda like walks up and she's like, "What? This is your best behavior?
You want to join?
No, get off the ground."
Well, I won though, right? That's the important part.
Yes, you won. Yes.
Okay.
Move
Well,
this into a tent if you wish to continue.
I will
Wink.
share my cask of wine with the guy, but I want to know his name.
Okay. He he like gets up and like brushes himself off. Not very well because he's pretty intoxicated. I forgot he had disadvantage on that roll actually. Oh, okay, it didn't matter too much, but yeah, you still beat him, obviously. And he like stumbles over to a cask and hands it over to you and says, "My name is my name is Hector. And yours?"
Hey, Hector. I am Ovak.
"It's a pleasure to be bested by someone as beautiful as you."
Aw, thank you. It's fun to kick someone's ass, but you want to share this cask and get really drunk together?
"Of course. What do you think we were doing here?"
All right, so I crack it open and we start drinking right from the cask.
Ovak,
Alright.
maybe you can do some more wrestling later.
I mean, maybe if you play your cards right, we'll talk about it.
Why now?
Not me,
Wrestle
him.
later. We were just enjoying a good story from Rolf. And he actually gestures to one of the men that you actually saw in the shop. It is. I'll just move him here. This guy. He was kind of like the. He accompanied the larger guy in Bildrath. He didn't say anything, but he accompanied him. And so before I get into that though, because he's gonna basically start telling a story, because he was already in the middle of like starting that. What is everyone else doing? Because Esmeralda's moved over here. I know Laszlo, it looks like you moved south, so I'll start with you because you're, and then I'll go to Adric.
I'm just checking out the tents and seeing if there's anything that piques my curiosity.
Okay, roll perception.
There it is.
Okay, 15. So with a 15, looking over the camp and the tents, you specifically that tent, you actually hear some snoring, some very light snoring from within. The tent itself, like all of these tents and camps and whatnot, even though they look as though they could be thrown up easily, they look as though they've been there for a very long time. That being said, you do see a lot of like supplies around where there are some crates, there are some barrels, there are some casks. So some of those things catch your eye. The only thing that you see that's like open in a jar currently would be the items that the individuals around the bonfire are actually drinking out of right now. You do see, you do happen to see a crate that is kind of sliding out the end of this wagon that is open, and every now and then you see one of these individuals go over and they grab some sort of meat and they're eating it. What do you want to do?
So nothing that would be worth my stealing then.
I told you what I told you. I mean, there's crates and barrels and things, but like I said, the only one open is the one that they're either drinking out of it or they're pulling meat out of it.
So which one are they pulling the meat out of?
The one right here. There's a small crate that's open.
I'm gonna see if I can get some meat out of there and eat something.
Okay. Are you trying to be sneaky about it?
No,
Okay.
they're all drunk. Why do I need to be sneaky?
Fair enough. You walk over and go to reach to put your hand in the crate. At the same time, one of these females do the exact same thing, and your hands touch. And she looks at you, and she looks at you like a lot longer, and you can see like her eyes start to roll a little bit, obviously intoxicated, and then they train back on you. And she takes her hand and tries to like reach out to like touch your face. What do you do?
This is an invitation, sir.
Get a room. Get a room.
Everything's
That's
so
what
sexual with this group.
Yeah,
Great.
well, you don't want to know where I was going to go with that one.
I mean, she's reaching
No,
out
actually,
to
I
touch
think
your
that's what he.
face.
Yeah, I think that's what he wants to know. Is where you're going to go with this one.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
where the
he,
what
kids
do
are
you
calling
do?
it these days.
Yeah,
yeah, he literally asked him, "Where are you going to go with this?" And I'm like,
So you like to pet cats, do you?
she's like, great wording.
That's the worst.
at least he said cats and not something else.
Yeah, so
I have to restrain myself.
her
The
her eyes
implication.
widen quite a bit when you speak, and her hand like retracts
You've
a
never
little
had
bit.
one of these speak to you before?
Yeah, she's like, no, can I pet?
Don't pet my schnauzer.
She still has her hand outreached, but she's asking. She's like, "Can I pet?" She's like, she is very amused by your form. Like,
I would totally abuse that power if I was a cat.
yeah. So she just
Seriously.
with the lightest like touch, even though she's intoxicated, you expected like that she would be a little bit more forceful and whatnot. But she, with like the lightest touch, she just brushes up against your furred cheek, and
You've done this before.
and
Oh my god.
she's just like, she starts to like smile, and then she retracts her hand and just turns away and goes back to the bonfire.
And you,
Oh, that's so got dumped.
You didn't start purring or anything? Come on.
I mean, nothing. Come on, lads.
But
You got game here. Put it out there.
she goes back to the fire, and she looks over her shoulder and smiles at you as she returns back to the bonfire.
Ooh,
Reaching into
4
the
pets later.
crate. So she moves over here. Reaching over into the crate, you do find that there is quite a bit of cured meats in this crate. It's about a quarter of the way full. I'd say that there's about 7 or 8 more pieces. And yeah, what do you do?
So I'll grab my piece of meat and I'll head back over to the fire and sit down next to the girl who just pet me.
Okay.
And asked her, said, "I let you pet me. Can I pet you?"
Making biscuits.
Okay, so you sit down next to her and you just get real cheeky. Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh hell, big roll.
With advantage.
Speaking of, look who came to visit. Hello.
Oh.
Hey.
So she just gives you.
Carry kittens around for the rest of the campaign.
She gives you another one of those shy smiles, and she just like brushes her hair over like the shoulder next to you, and just like puts that within easy reach for you. So as y'all were doing this, I'm gonna go to Adric now.
I'm just gonna think out loud, but not say it to her. Women love a man with an eye patch.
Okay. All right. So yeah, y'all two are doing that. Ovok's doing, y'all were making friends with the locals right now. It's great. Love it. With the natives. Adric, what would you like to do?
I just want to link up with Esmeralda and ask her a couple of questions about this fortune.
Okay. Yeah. So she had just gotten done dealing with like the Ovok situation, and she's just kind of, you can see her she grabs a flask too, looking around like she's, you still have like you've been watching her quite some, like more than the others. You see that she still has that like little bit of hint of disgust as she's like looking over the rest of these people. But yeah, she spots you and she swigs like she takes a big swig from the flask of what you have been told is wine.
I'm not sure if it's impolite, but I was hoping you could fill in some of the vagaries with this fortune we just got. And I'd like to, well, first of all, I want to know if it's impolite to talk about it.
No, it's not impolite. I'll try my best.
And then I'd like to just quickly run through what we were told and see if anything sparks interest or knowledge.
Okay.
If I see them talking, it's whenever I'm able to see them, I'd like to walk over with them and be involved.
Yeah, you can basically walk in as they're having this conversation. Okay. So starting from the top, like you mentioned the Wizard of Wines, and she says, she actually like holds up her flask and it's like, they make excellent wine. I would find that it's a treasure in itself.
What does the woods and sand? Do they have their place in a desert or a desert with woods or?
She.
Where is winery?
She says, I don't know. That's lost on me.
Maybe they'll know.
Perhaps.
Yeah. These travelers. How about a dragon's house?
Let me roll for her. No, that's the wrong.
I was thinking maybe dragons live long time. Maybe Strahd is dragon.
She like coughs a little bit and she's like, no dragon has been seen in these lands ever that I know of. Or at least the dragon that I'm guessing you speak of.
What do you mean dragon we speak of?
The ones with wings and scales.
Oh, I was thinking maybe Strahd is dragon.
He is many things, but I don't believe him to be a dragon.
I didn't mean literal dragon. I mean long-lived, powerful guy with deceit and
Could be a faction of dragons, people who claim dragon as name. We don't know. It could be a location name. It could be a literal house. We don't know. Anybody that's around fit that description?
Not that I know of.
What about the hands once clean, now corrupted? Is there anybody that's like famous in the area for being good guy or girl and now is bad little boy or girl?
These lands turn many a good soul.
Nobody famous for it?
Not that I know of.
Oh no.
So going on to the next one, which is the woman hangs above a roaring fire. Find that treasure. She's completely lost.
Did we tell her yet about the?
Stand out to her though. I will say that when you ask about your greatest ally being a wizard, she actually to that she actually like perks up a little bit and she says, maybe I can be of a little help. Rolf here was actually just recanting a tale of the wizard against Strahd. That's the only famous wizard I know about.
And we didn't hear that, so we caught the tail end of that, but not all of it.
So he's like saying it now, like he's going into the story now. So
Oh.
y'all are willing, like if y'all want to listen in, he's going over the tale now.
Yeah,
Oh.
just real quick before we cut to that, does she know anything about that last one?
No.
All right, I would love to hear the wizard tale.
Okay, so let me Torvin and Ilaria. So Torvin first. What are you doing?
I want to look
If
for a
everyone wants to
shop.
gather around the fire at some point during the tale, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'm just trying to see if anybody else is doing anything before that.
I was gonna say I wanted to look for a shop, smithy or something.
There is none of that here.
Okay, well I will meet at the fire then.
Okay. Yeah, there's no like seller purveyor of any sort of goods here. Like it's just these people having a party basically. There's 2 Torvins.
Oh shit! I didn't even see my character there.
Multiplied.
He learned mirror image.
Crazy. All right, cool. So you're over here. Ilaria, what are you doing?
I'm just listening right now to everybody.
Torvin found the hell.
All right, cool. So
Silly putty.
let's see if I can find this real quick, and we'll probably wrap after this tale.
Where is
Yes,
what's her name?
Irina.
Yeah,
I don't have her on the
Irina
map. I
doing?
should put her on the map. I
Where?
guess.
Yes, where is
I always forget
Irina?
about
And
her.
can we ask Irina? I am going to ask Irina
Yes. What are
if
you gonna ask
she knows of anyone known as the dragon.
her? Oh. Okay.
Excuse me.
She says I've only heard of dragons in stories. I don't know.
She's useless.
Are any of these stories like local folklore?
No. I've never heard of any dragons being in Barovia.
Guess we need to find the wizard. Maybe he knows about a dragon.
Okay. So, yep. We talked about that. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, as you all gather round the fire, yeah, the handsome Rolf guy goes into a story where he says, a mighty wizard came to this land over a year ago. I remember him like it was yesterday. He stood exactly where you're standing. A very charismatic man he was. He thought he could rally the people of Barovia against the devil Strahd. He stirred them with the thoughts of revolt and bore them to the castle en masse. When the vampire appeared, the wizard's peasant army fled in terror. A few stood their ground and were never seen again. The wizard and the vampire, they cast spells at each other. Their battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to a precipice overlooking the falls. And he actually looks over to the west, where now you can actually see the sun coming. Well, you can't see the sun obviously because the area, but it's bright enough to where you can actually see in the far distance through thinly veiled fog clouds of a falls. And he continues, I saw the battle with my own eyes. Thunder shook the mountainside, and great rocks tumbled down upon the wizard, yet by his magic he survived. Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard, and again he stood his ground. But when the devil Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic could not save him. I saw him thrown from 1,000 feet to his death. I climbed down to the river to search for the wizard's body, to see if, he had anything of value. He looks around to all his little patrons and they all chuckle and whatnot. And he says, but the river Ivlis had already spirited him away. And that's the end of his little tale. So, we still have 10 minutes, so y'all can go ahead.
So is Torvin in earshot of me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'd like to look towards my companion and loud enough for him to hear say, "Oh, you are definitely the strongest of the creatures of the penis that I have met."
Oh, Jesus.
What?
What?
All right. You just want Torvin to hear that for some reason?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
glance at him when I say it.
Look, his right eye just twitches.
Oh man,
There are no
funny.
penis wielders that can beat you in a battle.
Okay. Your companion is very intoxicated at this point. Yeah, he just laughs. Like, I don't know what. I mean, he could say some stuff, but I think at this point he's been drinking. They've done an all-nighter, so he's just so damn plastered at this point. But yeah, Torvin, yeah, your eye twitches.
Oh man, I guess there's not going to be another strong male to do it the needful here. So, and I just pick him up and carry him.
The guy that's drunk?
The guy.
Okay, where do you carry him?
I don't actually want to carry through with this. I just want to make Torvin really jealous.
Oh no, you're here now. Torvin could ignore you, and you have to carry this out.
No, that's not. Well, okay, we'll just pretend. So I will take him.
We're all
right
pretending
here.
Jake. This is D&D. What do you want? Like...
I'll take him
Break that man
here,
in half.
right here, so Torvin can hear what's going on but can't
Okay,
see
so
it.
you go past Torvin as you carry this man, and go out of Torvin's view.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna fall asleep.
Give me give me a performance check.
A performance check.
Yeah.
Oh, come on!
You crit fail again? Oh wow.
Almost.
Yeah. You do this not so elegantly, at all. As like they're all really drunk, and you're not the only person that's like, quote unquote, carrying someone to a tent right now. But, you do it, and you pick this guy up, and his head smacks like a wagon on the way there.
You don't
He
know. You don't
goes
care.
and gets knocked unconscious from that, and you walk
I can work
past
with that.
Torvin.
Torvin goes
my
sits
God.
in my arena.
Yeah, so yeah, you're over here now, and he's over there.
He's got to be able to give consent. Oh my goodness.
Okay, for
If
this
he's
next part,
unconscious, he cannot consent.
okay, for the second part, I don't need consent. So,
The second part.
well, okay. Oh my God, that sounds really bad. That's not what I was going with this at all.
Oh.
Where's Torvin? Why did Torvin move? Where's Torvin? I wanted Torvin back where he was.
Edit this out.
He went and sat by
Put some
arena.
trigger warnings on the
Yeah, I'll
label
just be
thing.
like,
Listen,
I'll have a birthday
from this
thing
time to
come
this
up.
time.
I promise you, it's not as bad as it sounds.
Disclaimer comes up to continue. Please verify your age. Cool. Yeah, so you're doing that.
No.
Torvin-
And then,
Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
and then while Torvin's nearby, I was like, "Oh yeah, those horns are just very impressive. I'm very impressed by your horns. These are the most impressive horns I've ever seen. I could
You're
never
so
imagine
horny.
horns bigger than this."
And you're talking to this guy. You're not talking to Torvin, right? You're talking to...
I'm just saying it loudly behind the.
Oh, yeah, okay. So y'all are like over here. Torvin,
Flat
what are you doing?
unconscious.
What are
I'm
you
over
doing?
my arena now.
You just walk
Here,
off? Okay. Torvin walks off.
Damn
Alright.
it!
Torvin's not stealthy.
You
He
missed an
actually gets
opportunity,
disadvantage
Torvin.
at stealth, so you would hear him probably saunter off, away. Alright, so let me go back to Laszlo. Laszlo, what are you doing with flirtatious gypsy girl
Leave us
here?
alone. We're in private. Leave us alone.
Are you wanting to take her to like a thing, or are you trying to get any information from her, any conversation, like anything, or are you just having like a night of fun? Which one of those things are you doing?
She's a
Compliment her
gypsy. She's a
horns.
gypsy woman.
I mean, she's dressed like that's. She's not a gypsy. She's a
She's not
Vistani.
gypsy.
She's a Vistani, but they're dressed like gypsies. So
But
that's
no
why.
silver spangles in her hair.
No, but she does have she has ornamental garb, like all over her. She's wearing fine clothes.
So I'm just going to continue to kind of flirt with her and chit chat and see what information I can get out of her.
Okay, but you're staying by the fire. That's like your
Yeah.
end goal is just to get information from her, right?
Part of it.
Okay, her end goal
Let's see where it goes.
her end goal based on my rolls is to do more than that. So it's up to you how far you take that or not. But she wants to do more. But anyways, we can go back to that. That's something I can connect with you offline. To
So
tell
this
you
girl's into bestiality, huh?
to tell you what information. This is D&D, man. You're technically a humanoid, right? So it's all fair game.
I mean, yeah,
so-
technically, Alaria's grandfather probably had relations with a dragon because she's a sorceress. So let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean that definitely happened. I mean, you're a cat folk, so something had to happen there in the first place. Anyways, I don't even want to talk about Torvin. We're not gonna do that.
I mean, Ovag, you're a half orc, right?
Yeah. Ovak,
Yeah,
We're
that's
half
an
elves.
interesting story.
Yeah.
Moral of the story: humans get around like a lot.
And you have
My mom
found
definitely
a
got around.
drunken, horny bunch of them, basically. So, anyways, I'll connect with you after that or whatever. Torvin, are you doing anything specific as you move over to Irina?
I guess I'm just gonna check on her.
Oh, okay, you're just checking in with her.
Yeah.
No
one else has.
So you notice in her hands that she has the cards that Madame Eva left on the table.
Mhm.
And she is just like studying them like nonstop. She's really ignoring most of what's going on around here.
Sorry.
You do see that a couple of these fellows approach her and try to speak to her, offer her wine, offer her food. She just is ignoring them. They're not being aggressive in any manner. They kind of just move on to another female after she just gives them a cold shoulder, and she's just studying these cards.
Got you.
So
I'm just gonna ask her what her thought is.
she comes out of like her daze of like being locked on the cards and looks up at you and says, I really have no idea. I don't know what to make of this. I wish I could be more help. I am just a burden, and I don't want to be. I don't know why me. Why, out of everyone, why me?
Well, I will say that he has a. So, I we'll do what we can to protect you.
You've done so much already. I don't want to ask any more of you. I wish I could do this alone.
You seem to be a weakness too strong. We don't want him having you.
I don't want him to have me either.
So we're gonna do what we can to keep you safe, and we can. And I'm not trying to get your hopes up. Get your brother back.
She
Just
smiles at that.
Just understand that it's. I'm not trying to get your hopes up, but we're going to try.
Yeah, she smiles at that, and just says, "Thank you for everything."
Let's give her a nod.
All right, so I'm gonna go back to Alaria. What is Alaria doing? And then I'll do Selkar and then Adric.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
I was trying to.
What's up?
I'm going to say next time if we get attacked, or something. Go stand by Laurie and protect her. And me and Obak will try to take on everything else.
I don't think she needs my protection, but I'll do what I can.
Laurie is, just look at her and say, Laurie, less threat to you.
You said what? I'm sorry, you cut out.
I told her, I told Irina that Ilaria will not be the center of combat. She'll be outside of the fighting, so less threat to you.
She says, I see. I'll do my best. Yeah, so going to Ilaria. What is Ilaria doing at this time?
Looking for ravens.
Just out there looking.
Roll perception.
I don't know why I'm paranoid about this.
Ravens and dolls. Ravens and dolls.
You spot a raven carrying a doll.
The doll.
It drops right in your lap.
I am so out.
Yeah, so you're looking around. With this area finally, as morning has come and whatnot, the bonfire has died down to coals now. A lot of people are very intoxicated. A lot of them are moving to the tents, whether it be in 2s, 3s, or more. They're all settling down. Some of them are actually going into the wagons, and none of them are going to Madame Eva's tent. Even though it's very large, none of them are going over there. You don't see any threat of any kind. There's no. You don't see. You actually don't see any birds at all. There's no ravens. It's only these people and your party.
Then I need sleep.
Okay. So you're gonna. So, is there a preferred place? I will say at this time, most of the tents are taken.
I do want to say Torvin wants to.
Yeah. So I will say though, with that roll, there are some shady spots, like underneath the trees and whatnot. And then also the wagon that you came in is not covered, but no one's in it.
So,
For the
are
record-
any of you guys taking a rest, or what?
No,
Oh,
I don't
well,
know.
I'll speak to
before we
Eva.
It seems like rest might be useful. Seems like rest might be helpful. I'll take first watch since
Since you're arrested.
since I'm rested. Yes.
Yeah.
Same. I'll take first with him. And for the record, I didn't play hide the sausage with the random around the fireplace. Just want that in writing so everyone knows.
Oh, you knocked him out.
Nobody knows.
Well, they don't have to know. Just
I'm a
the
little
rule book has to know.
I'm a little disappointed in you, sir. I mean,
So you just left this
I just-
unconscious guy over here by this wagon,
Yeah.
I guess.
Fuck that guy. He couldn't even hold his liquor. I don't care.
no. That's what
Okay.
we're saying. You should have fucked that guy.
No, the guy that should have done the needful is on the other side of the fireplace sulking for some reason. He won't even wrestle me. He hates me. I need a therapist after all this is over.
He's gonna need a
He's
therapist.
comforting the striking woman looking at cards. Maybe you should be the jealous one.
I'll kill her.
That seems pretty evil to me, Ova.
Yeah,
You know
a little
what? That's
bit.
right. That was out of character. But I think she's evil, so I don't think it's that evil.
All right, cool. So, Adric, Selkar, is there anything before we wrap? And then, of course, I think everyone's wanting to do a long rest. Whether or not that begins with you in a tent with a companion, that's up to y'all. I think Laszlo's still in the game, but he might be the only one. So,
Well,
what is Adric and Selkar doing?
I'm probably still discussing, the the discussing
The reading.
the thing. Thank you. Jeez.
Yeah.
The one where the thing and the cards and the stuff happened. You know.
Okay. Do a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Who's he talking to?
I'm guessing he's trying to talk to anybody that'll listen to him.
Oh, okay.
I would think.
Oh, well, not anybody, but
Oh,
what's her
really?
name that came pick us up in Arena?
So if anyone gave you relevant information, you wouldn't listen to him.
Okay, that's a fair point. Persuasion check. I'll take a persuasion.
That's perception.
Oh, sorry. Then it was a P one. Perception.
It is a P1. You're right.
Perception. There.
Okay, so with a 14, most of the people at the fire won't listen to you. Esmeralda, you still have her ears, but you've already spoke to like pretty much all of it, and nothing's really ringing a bell. So most of them are starting to like pass out and go their different ways. So I'm just actually going to move a couple of them just to kind of.
Living first, huh?
Cool.
Yeah, but they're all starting to. I don't know, Laszlo. I don't know. I'm putting you over there. Yeah. So they're all.
Hold up. Did you put me with the gypsy woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what you want to do. That's what you can do. So. All right. Cool. Yeah. So anything else before I guess y'all are bunking up?
Yeah, I just want to ask Esmeralda if she plans on continuing with us to help us through this. I would very much be interested in meeting her mentor, and I'll tell her that.
Okay. She says, unfortunately, my readings do not take me to Valaki, but I may make my way there. If fate has it, I think we'll meet again. Just stay alive.
It is high on my priority list. That's it.
Really? I was planning on getting myself killed tomorrow.
I was also planning on getting you killed tomorrow. Fancy that. I'm gonna go to sleep now.
True brothers.
All right. So Esmeralda just goes over by the fire and just kind of makes herself comfortable, just kind of staring into like the coals, basically. But yeah, so all of you, I guess, are making. You can go ahead and put like kind of tell me a little bit where y'all are going, and then I'm guessing long rest is the plan.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
you know,
That's the
some of
plan.
you can stay awake for watches and all that, of course. So
Okay.
we'll get into that right now. Right now, let's just discern where you're going and who will take the first watch. Whoever's taking first watch, just put yourself by the fire. And
Chris and I.
Esmeralda is there on the fire. There is also a guy that is by the fire, but he is he's passed out. This guy's passed out.
What wagon is empty?
I'm just gonna say, for the sake of this, we'll actually say this southern wagon is empty. So I'll just move this guy. And yeah, so he's they're like in the wagon. And yeah, so these guys you actually don't see anymore. Laszlo disappears into that one. You don't see this guy. Ilaria goes into. I'm gonna keep you visible just because it makes it a little easier. And yeah, so they all start to retire in their tents and whatnot. This guy is passed out. So you got three guys passed out right there. Esmeralda's still awake, and Irina. Torvin, where are you headed? Because Irina's gonna follow you probably.
All right, I've got two things I want to do. I want to and sell cars, taking first watch. I want to have a conversation with him when I.
Okay, so you're gonna have a conversation starting next session with him. Irina's going to basically come Let's see. I'm gonna move this guy here. She's just gonna come over here. We'll just do this. That'll make it a little bit easier for me. I'll have these guys like all passed out right there. Cool. And yeah, Irina's basically gonna nod off next to the coals of the fire. So she's gonna go to sleep. There. Okay. Adric, are you going somewhere, or are you?
I'm leaned up against this cart, and I'm also asleep. So I guess I'm next to Irina and Torvin.
Okay, so sleeps. You would think they would have like a sleepy thing. Laszlo. Oh, Laszlo shouldn't be invisible for that sake then. I forgot about that. Ovak, are you sleeping?
I'm first watch, but
You're
yes.
first watch. Okay, so going in, Torvin. Okay, and Torvin, you're gonna just have a conversation. Cool. So I think we're set up for starting next session.